Togoza, Nomafu, Togoza, and Lubugazi. So you bring up a very important point, which is, like I said before, you say people are fascinated with the ending of time. The truth of the matter is it's more like obsessed, and the reason they're obsessed is because of fear, right? Remember that the three Abrahamic religions talk about a heaven and a hell. And when you read through those three religions, you begin to realize that this heaven is not really attainable, because there is talk of perfection as a human being in order to make it into this place called heaven to start with. Now, if you understand what it is to be a spirit, having a human experience, bakwaNtu, we are spirit first before we manifest in the physical in order to have a human experience, right? Part of having the human experience is to experience imperfection. It is to make mistakes. It is to fumble, right? Because as spirit, you were in your most perfect form. You needed nothing. You came here to have a human experience. And what human experiences you have here were actually predetermined by you and the choice you made when you came into this incarnation. Now it goes really deep, because you not only chose to come here to have a human experience, you also chose into what family you were going to be born in. This is called your soul group. You also chose what experiences you wanted to have based on whatever incarnation you're coming in. Therefore, this illusion of time and this illusion of perfection that has bakwaNtu trapped in religion is not according to our natural way of being as spirits having a human experience. We start out as spirit. This body is secondary to your spirit, umoya wako, right? And so if you look at things through isolomoya, meaning if you look at things through your spiritual eye rather than your physical eyes, you will realize that time is infinite. There is no such thing, right? You will understand that you are here to have this human experience. When that is done, when this body is tired or sick, and your time within that body is done, you exit and you go back to the ethereal plane, where you may look and see, and this is not anyone making you do this, because you rejoin the world of amatongo, spirits, and you choose once again to come back into this world. You will choose perhaps even a different body, a different set of experiences, because you want to experience it. You want to learn. Now, this gets tricky, because I've had people who I mentor and we're talking about issues like the RAPE and so on. And they're like, how are you telling me that I chose to have that happen to me? Yes. Oh. And then we have to do some what we call linear regression work, where we go back into somebody's, not just this lifetime, but we go back into other lifetimes, and we can pinpoint the moments at which they chose that. It's intense work, but it's also very healing work, because there is a sense of acceptance that, you know what? Well, people like saying this happened to me for a reason. Well, the reason a lot of things do happen to us in our lives is because we made a choice. That is not to say other people's choices aren't going to impact and influence the life choices that we made before we came down here. You have to remember that. Brings in, for example, abortion. There's no spirit that says, I'm going to come down and then I'm going to have my life cut off. That is why those who do this or have a spiritual debt that they owe that spirit whose experience they cut short while this spirit was still in the womb. So this is all sounds very complex, but I'm just coming back to the point that if you look at things from your spiritual eye, isolomoya, you will realize that yes, time is really very much an illusion. And umlungu chose to manipulate time by, instead of following the natural flow of nature from season to season, deciding that they were going to make time a particular way using their calendar. Started out with what is called the calendar that was made by what was this guy's name? Junus. And then came the Gregorian calendar, which is the one we are now stuck with. And that calendar, those two calendars, are a total mess up of our time. And as bakwaNtu, as long as we are on that timeline and on that calendar, which doesn't honor the natural flow of energy from season to season, we're very much misaligned. So this is a long answer because I was trying to kind of fit some things into this and make it a longer teaching. But the fear is a problem for Tina bakwaNtu because the fear keeps us in our root chakra. What is the root chakra? You know that we have 7 energy centers in the world. Those are the main ones in the body. 7 energy centers in our body, right? It starts at the base of your spine with what is called the root chakra. Then it comes up to about your pelvic reproductive organs. That's your sacral chakra. We go up one. We have the solar plexus. Then after the solar plexus, we have your heart chakra. After your heart, we have your throat. After your throat, we have your third eye. And then we have your crown chakra. Now, based on this energy, this electromagnetic flow of energy from the base of your spine, as you ascend, as you grow spiritually, as you awaken, that energy is supposed to coil from the root to the sacral, to the solar plexus, to the heart, to the throat, to the third eye, and all the way up to your crown chakra. What is preventing bakwaNtu from awakening is because, number one, religious keeps you rooted in fear. Fear blocks energy flow. Fear keeps you tense. Fear. And then we have on top of that, worrying about money. Many of us are spending an inordinate amount of time trying to run away from our trauma and our pain by drinking and partying. Many of us are trying to escape the work of meditation and healing because we are too scared to sit by ourselves and hear what is going on within us. So what do? We are outside, we are external of ourselves, and we are distracting ourselves with a lot of noise. We allow the world to distract us. And in so many ways, the world has been created by abelungu that way, because as long as you're distracted, as long as you're in fear, as long as you're worried about bread and butter issues, you're not going to do the inner work to ascend, because they know that once bakwaNtu ascend, it's over for them. We exit this matrix in which we live, where we think we're in control of our own lives, but the truth of the matter is we're not. You see? So I would say, rather use your fear to go inward. Look at your fear from a different perspective and use it as an engine to go inward. Look at your fear rather than fear of a non-existent place called hell or fear of what will happen tomorrow. How about the fear of exiting this physical plane without knowing who you are and why on earth you came here to begin with? That fear should be the real fear that drives you to sit still, go inward, and really connect with who you are. Now, if you can flip that fear to make it do that for you, you've won against the system. You've won against oppression. And guess what? You've broken free of mental slavery. Thokozeni.